Hey everybody, and welcome back to Live Between Paychecks Kitchen. I'm Oz, Jack and Lady still in Lake Jackson. This one's coming from my little Cali kitchen in Dickinson, Texas. Now, there used to be an awesome little restaurant up the road, Szechuan Garden, that would make this stuff, and I've been missing it ever since Hurricane Ike wiped it out in like '08. So we're going to try that. Before we get into it, be sure to like, share, subscribe to all the YouTube-y stuff. Ring the little bell down in that corner to get notifications. We do these as close to Tuesdays and Fridays as we can. A lot of stuff going on. I apologize for that. There's also a link down the doobly-doo for our merch. We're a small business. We very much appreciate it. And let's just get into the shrimp toast. Shrimp toast! That's the shrimp toast called. Shrimp toast! Food. Alright, looks like a lot of stuff, but this is not a lot of stuff. It's really good. Big thing, you want a pound of the shrimp. Get it fresh, get it frozen, up to you. Just let it thaw. You want at least 2 cloves of garlic. Ancestors always say 4. You want a little bit of sugar, and you want some salt. Don't get these confused. This is my salt, just proving that it's in there. That's sugar, whatever. You're going to want 1 egg here. The whites is fine. I just use the whole thing. The green onion, the ones that have the prettier stems on them here, that's what you're going to want to use. A little bit of cornstarch, and you're going to need bread. Regular ass broke white bread is fine. As cheap as you can get, that's what I get. I'm always dressed mine with hot mustard and some ponzu. Whatever kind of anchovy fish sauce you want to use on it, it's up to you. And I'm going to use some kind of oil for cooking. Now, I just got some canola. It was the cheapest that I had at the store, but it doesn't have to be anything special. We're just going to fry in it, okay? So just make sure it's good. Also, it's going to help if you have one of these. It's a waffle maker, but I got like these panini press type plates that fit in here. This works really good. It's how the restaurant up the road used to do it, I think. That's the only way I can think of how they did it. But first things first, we're going to wash our vegetables and skin our garlic. All right, let's get those nice and clean. Get us a bowl, set it to the side. Get us a nice sharp knife. Shout out to Andy. Thank you very much. And then slide these over. Cut the roots off as close as possible. You don't need those. Go ahead and dispose of that. And we're just going to chop down the rest of the green onion. Doesn't have to be super small. Doesn't have to be big. Food processor might work on these because we're going to blend it all together into a giant splat of food that's going to be fried. Yes, that's a measurement. We go ahead and cut these down. Now, I don't cut a lot of these. I screw these up. There's usually like 1 or 2 little strands of really long green onion in these, if you haven't noticed in the videos, because I don't want to cut into that cutting board. It's my fancy cutting board. I like it. Now, if you're allergic to onions, get some of these dried onions. Shout out to my friends Cy and Hot Mess. I use those because it doesn't have the oils that they're allergic to. Check with your doctor before you do that kind of stuff. But yeah, use that instead. If you're going to use that, use about 1/4 to 1/2 cup. It's up to you how oniony you want it. And just throw it in the bowl as well. Now, garlic, again, just stick it in a food processor, slap chop, whatever, just beat the hell out of it. But I don't have that because I am broke ass YouTuber. So I'm just going to take this sharp knife, and chop this all down over and over. Just 3 passes under the knife, that's fine. Food processor, give it a pulse for like 10 seconds and you should be done. We're listening to Comic Books Explained over on YouTube today because you got to listen to something while you're cooking. Love that guy. Peace. So get your shrimp, get those nice and rinsed off. Now, deveined is the big part, but you want to make sure you get the shells and legs off. I had a part of the video doing it. I thought I was doing it on camera, but because I'm zoomed in, all you saw was the bottom of my hand. I apologize. But just make sure you get all the shells off, get the legs and the tails off, make sure that vein is out of there. Even the ones that are deveined to come that way, there's some that'll have that in there, so just reach, pull those out. So run under your knife 2 or 3 times, don't chop it down. Well, this is kind of like crab meat. If you don't cook it, it's just kind of goop. So you just kind of got to run that shrimp goo under your knife 2 or 3 times. Do that for the entire pound. Put it in your bowl with your onion and garlic. Now you're going to get a teaspoon of the cornstarch and of salt. Go ahead and put those in there. I know it looks like a lot of salt, but it'll stretch it out. Then 1/2 teaspoon of sugar, okay? The egg, I usually just put the whole egg in here, but I've seen recipes that call for the egg whites. Once you do that, you just crack it open, and the egg white generally just kind of falls out, and you toss the egg yolk back and forth between the 2 halves of the shell. It takes a little practice. This one, I think the eggs are getting closer to their expiration dates, so the whites are a little goopier. So just get that. I just reach to get my handy dandy kitchen shears and just cut it off. I'm just going to add that back in and let it stir. Now, give it all a nice big stir. Again, the yolk isn't mandatory, but if it does, just make sure you puncture it and stir it around with the rest of this, or you're just going to have one piece of shrimp toast that is just all egg. Ugh. So give it a nice stir, get it all nice and spread out, and then we're going to set it to the side, and we're going to start our oil. So get you a decent pan. You want to put about 2 cups of oil in it and turn it up to about 6 or 7, right? Not super hot, not super cool, okay? Remember, you want it to bubble and not spatter. So get you 2 cups of oil, put that in there, and let that start heating. Now, my panini press / waffle press thing here in the background doesn't have an on-off. You just plug it in and it's on. So I'm going to let that heat up. Now, you make a regular when you put butter and stuff on the outside, but I'm not going to do that because we're going to fry it. So get you a slice of bread, put you a decent sized splat in the middle. As long as the bread can close and can still touch all the way around, that's all you're looking for. But this press is going to push it down pretty good, so you don't want to go too thin. But just some restaurants where it's got like a thin smear, like a pate of it in there, but you want your bread to be able to touch, okay? Put that in there. This one does 2 at a time, so I'm doing that. You can even use the butt of the bread, which, what do y'all call the end of the bread? Like the heel. I heard somebody call it a heel, but as uncouth as we are here in Texas Gulf Coast, it's the butt of the bread. Why the bread has 2 butts, I don't know, one at either end. But once you get it in there and this is nice and hot, go ahead and close it up, and it's going to go ahead and close all the way down, smush it. It's going to toast it a little bit. We're only going to put it in for about a minute, minute and a half. I left this in too long, but the oil got hot. Use some tongs. Down here, see, I left it where the bread got too toasted on the outside, but it'll work. So you want to put it on here and let it just get to a golden brown on either side. So it usually takes about a minute and a half to 2 minutes. Any darker than that, it's fine. It's just crispier, but it's going to cook a little bit once you pull it out. Don't leave your other one sitting in the panini press. Hopefully you have a pot big enough to put 2 sandwiches in at a time. If not, just do one at a time like I did. I was expecting to use a smaller pot to do these. Here's the one that's got my the heel butt thing on it. You can see where it's like a nice golden brown on there. Pull it up. Be sure to let it drip. Get all as much of that oil off of it as you can. And use your secret weapon, paper towel on a plate, and it'll absorb some of that oil out of there. So remember, you want it to bubble, not spatter. If it's spattering, turn it down. Okay? Like I said, I set mine at like a 6 or 7. That's fine. But you get in here, minute and a half, 2 minutes, turn it over. Gorgeous brown color on this side. Let it sit for the same minute, minute and a half on the other side. And check it, flip it over, cut it in half, and it cooks everything in it. It tastes amazing. I usually just straight up eat mine with just the hot mustard because it's good. I remember going and eating at that place just so much. But this is what they look like. I cooked the one in the middle a little too long, and once you pull them off, they continue to cook a little bit because there's still oil in there. So remember that. But yeah, this is like old school stuff. I remember going in there, and that was always what everybody loved. And we'd always do shrimp toast, and I was so excited when I came across it when I was with my buddy Aaron. I was like, shrimp toast. So now she gets excited when we see shrimp toast on a menu, but it's still not the same. So this is as close as we got. Y'all got to try it out. And there you have it, shrimp toast, as close to the original as possible. There's some other stuff. I've seen some other recipes, been some other restaurants. They just don't do the same thing. So this is as close as possible as we could get it to. I miss the Szechuan garden up the road. But if you do it differently, have a better recipe, you think it's going to be closer, if you're local and you know better, let me know. Put it down in the comments. That's what they're there for. You can also hit us up on social media, Facebook, Pinterest, Patreon, with all those at Live Between Pete and Jake's Kitchen. On Instagram, Live Between, had to shorten it down over there. Me, Osway Nerdy, I'm on all those, including over on Blue Sky. So you can find me at Osway Nerdy, whatever, over there. And usually I'm talking nerd stuff and action figures and LARPing and whatever. But hit me up. We can talk cooking too. I'm all about that stuff. I will see y'all next time. Y'all please be safe. It's getting crazy out there, okay? Y'all be good.